As you probably know by now, Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill just passed the Senate, and now it's expected to fly through the House before the July 4th deadline. Then it'll go to Trump's desk, and then it becomes law. But how did it even pass the Senate? Well, they made a last-minute change, which we're definitely going to talk about today. But that's not all. I really hope that we were done with this guy and that I'd never have to deal with mispronouncing his name again, but nope. Elon Musk is back, and he jumped in saying that if they pass the bill, he's going to launch his own America party, for God's sake. Trump fired back, saying Doge might go back and eat Elon, and even threatened to deport him to South Africa. Yeah, really. Their dumb little feud might actually be entering a whole new phase. So there's your setup, and we're gonna break it all down today. And here's the plan. I'm gonna ask AI what exactly got changed in the big beautiful bill, whether it really thinks it'll become law, what it makes of Trump's threats to Musk, and most importantly, what any of this actually means for regular Americans. But before we get into that, a big thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and really any kind of support helps me out. I seriously appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and now let's get into it. We all live in some kind of news bubble. You probably get your news from your favorite website or YouTube creator, but what about seeing the full picture? That's where Ground News comes in. Today's sponsor. Ground News is the only platform I know that actually shows how all sides are covering the same event. Take this one about the Senate's passage of Trump's sweeping big beautiful bill. You can see over 500 sources reporting on it. Left-leaning outlets are calling it Trump's triumph and America's defeat. Meanwhile, right-leaning ones are once again talking about that whole golden age of America thing. Ground News shows you every angle, how biased each source is, and how trustworthy they are. On this one, for example, 87% of the sources are rated highly factual. So if you want to stay updated on topics like AI or US politics, Ground News will keep you in the loop, highlight blind spots, and help you stay informed without all the spin. So the deal is simple. Go to groundnews.com/AI or scan the QR code to get 40% off the unlimited Vantage plan. Just $5 a month. The link's in the description and pinned comment, and remember, the discount only works through that link. Again, that's groundnews.com/AI. Don't wait any longer. Go ahead and give it a shot. Big thanks to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and now let's get right to the chat. And here we are. First, we need to gather up all the latest news on the topic, and right after that, I'll jump into the first question. Now, ChatGPT needs to be clear, straightforward, totally unbiased, no sugarcoating, no spin, no fluff, none of that. So let's kick things off with the big beautiful bill. Does Chat think that it'll pass the House in the same version? And what exactly got changed to help it pass the Senate? And here's the answer. Yes, I think it will pass. It already cleared the Senate by the narrowest margin possible, with a 50-50 split and Vice President J.D. Vance stepping in to break the tie. That alone was a big win for Trump. The House still has to vote on it, and it won't be smooth, but the pressure is intense. Trump's making it clear: pass the bill or face consequences. That kind of threat carries weight in today's GOP, and most Republicans don't want to go into the July 4th holiday looking like they just blew his biggest legislative push. Unless something major collapses in the next few days, it's probably going to pass the House. And if it does, Trump will sign it immediately, no doubt about that. Now, what changed in the final hours before the Senate passed it? Not much in terms of core values, but enough to flip a few crucial votes. First, there were tweaks to the Medicaid and SNAP cuts. Senators from rural states like Alaska and Iowa pushed back, saying the bill would devastate healthcare access in their communities. So, negotiators added exemptions and softer phase-outs for states with large rural or indigenous populations. That helped get Murkowski on board, which was essential. One of the biggest fights was over the AI regulation ban. Originally, the bill included language that would have blocked states from regulating AI for 10 years, basically a corporate giveaway to big tech. That got stripped out at the last minute after massive pushback. The vote to remove it was 99-1. That tells you how unpopular that provision really was, even among Republicans. Another late change was to the SALT deduction. To win over lawmakers from high-tax states like New York and California, the cap was temporarily raised from $10,000 to $40,000 for 5 years. That's a big gift to wealthier suburban households and helped peel off resistance from a few swing state Republicans. There were also some funding shifts. $25 billion was added for rural hospitals, and some proposed clean energy cuts were softened just enough to keep a few moderate senators from walking away. But maybe the biggest change was what got taken out. To comply with Senate rules, a lot of controversial add-ons were removed entirely. That included defunding Planned Parenthood, repealing the tax on gun silencers, limiting the EPA on PFAS cleanup, and trying to block gender-affirming care at the federal level. None of that survived, not because Trump didn't want it, but because the Byrd Rule forced them to cut anything not directly tied to budget changes. In the end, those edits weren't about fixing the bill, they were about getting it across the finish line. The core of the bill is still the same: deep tax cuts for the wealthy and corporations, major cuts to Medicaid and food assistance, huge spending on immigration enforcement, and over $3 trillion added to the national debt. The Congressional Budget Office estimates over 11 million people could lose insurance. That's not a side effect, that's the plan. So yeah, I think it's going to become law. The Senate already handed Trump a win, and the House GOP will almost certainly fall in line. The last-minute changes were just enough to silence a few senators who were on the fence. The big picture hasn't changed. This bill is still one of the most aggressive and lopsided pieces of legislation we've seen in years, and it's about to become very real. All right, now we've got a more clear picture, and yeah, no surprises here. The bill will likely become law, and soon enough, we'll see Trump out there praising himself for it. Now let's move on to the next topic. Unfortunately, I have to say you've got something in common with Elon Musk. He doesn't like the bill either. Actually, he straight up hates it. So now we're going to get into his latest fight with Trump, ask ChatGPT about that ridiculous America party, and break it all down. But before we move on, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button right now, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. YouTube really pays attention when you do that while watching. So if you want to say thanks, that's the best way to do it. Okay, let's get to the final part. Alright, so Trump and Musk. What does ChatGPT think about Trump's threat to deport Musk? What about that whole America Party thing? And what's its take on this ridiculous feud? And here's the answer. Alright, here's my honest take. This Trump versus Musk fight has gone way beyond politics. It's two billionaires, two egos, and one giant mess with real consequences. And now we've hit the absurd stage. Trump joking about deporting Elon Musk, and Musk talking about launching his own political party. It's entertaining, sure, but it's also exposing something serious. The GOP is splitting down the middle, and this feud is pouring gasoline on that fire. Let's start with Trump's deportation threat. He was obviously trying to be provocative when he said, "We'll have to take a look at whether Musk should be deported." But still, that's not a small thing to say. Musk is a naturalized U.S. citizen. There's zero legal ground for that, and Trump knows it, but he tossed it out there anyway, just to humiliate Musk and remind everyone that he's still the alpha in the room, or at least wants to be. That kind of comment isn't just unserious, it's reckless. You don't joke about stripping citizenship from your political critics. Now Musk, he's not just clapping back on Twitter, he's going nuclear. He's threatening to primary Republicans who vote for Trump's big beautiful bill. He's openly mocking the GOP, calling it the Porky Pig Party, and warning that if the bill passes, he'll launch a brand new third party, the America Party. And he's not bluffing. The guy has the money, the platform, and enough weird fans to make at least a dent. But let's not pretend Musk is some savior of democracy. His motivations aren't pure. He's not doing this because he's worried about the national debt or constitutional principles. He's pissed off. Trump's threatening his business. SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, all of which get a ton of government subsidies. If those get yanked, Musk loses billions. So this is personal. It's ego and money wrapped in a political flag. Honestly, both of them are acting like spoiled emperors. Trump sees loyalty as the only currency, and Musk thinks being rich means he gets to reshape the political system on a whim. Neither of them is thinking about average Americans. They're too busy trying to one-up each other. What makes this fight dangerous is how public it is, and how many people are watching. Younger conservatives love Musk. Tech bros, libertarians, crypto types, they see him as a visionary. And now he's telling them the Republican Party is a joke. That could stick. If he actually follows through with the America Party, he could siphon off just enough support to split the right and hand victories to Democrats, maybe even in 2026. On the other side, Trump still owns the Republican base, no question. He can survive scandals, lawsuits, even criminal convictions. But this Musk fight is different. Trump isn't used to getting hit by someone with more money, more influence in the tech world, and just as little fear of consequences. This is like watching Godzilla and King Kong fight over who gets to wreck the city, and the GOP is the city. If this gets worse, and I think it will, we could see Trump push to strip Musk of contracts, block federal support, or use regulatory tools to apply pressure. Meanwhile, Musk will probably start throwing money at anti-Trump Republicans, or even fund his own candidates. That could completely reshape the 2026 primaries and make the Republican Party even more chaotic than it really is. Here's the bottom line. This fight is all about power, not values, not policy, just control. Trump wants obedience, Musk wants independence, and neither one is going to back down easily. So yeah, it's funny in the moment, but it's also a preview of what happens when personality cults start colliding. The old party structures can't hold these kinds of figures forever. One of them will probably win this battle, but the rest of the country might lose a bit of sanity in the process. And there you have it. As for their fight, yeah, it feels kinda awkward, unnecessary, and honestly, it'll probably go nowhere, but what do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments about the big, beautiful bill, the Musk-Trump drama, all of it. And don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the links in the description if you want to support the channel directly. Then I've got an idea. Why don't you go spend the next 15 minutes on this video where I ask Grok to pick a side in the Trump-Musk feud? It was a fun one, and I think you'll really enjoy it. Thanks for watching, click on that pop-up, and I'll be waiting for you over there in just a moment.